Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to report on a rumor, and I need to stress this is a rumor. It's not our rumor, but several Harry Potter fan accounts, fan sites, some of them gold-checked even, are reporting that they're hearing that Paapa Essiedu, the actor who, the controversial casting choice, the actor who's playing Severus Snape in the Harry Potter reboot, may be leaving, getting gone, got pushed out.
Yeah, getting replaced. Yeah.
Getting replaced. So we're going to talk about this because, there are several things, if it is true, and this is a huge, huge if it is true, there are several reasons as to why this could be happening or who initiated the breakup, because they haven't started filming yet. They're making the casting announcements. They're not filming until this summer, so later this summer. So there's still time to nope out. And even then, Snape isn't in every scene, so they could, film those scenes.
They can still start. Yeah.
They can still start production, right? So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
So this is coming from Daily Harry Potter. I've seen it on several sites. And again, it's a rumor, but he was also rumored to have the part of Snape by a lot of these same sites, and it happened. So let's just, hypothetically speaking, if they are parting ways with Paapa Essiedu, why would they be parting ways with him? Well, the elephant in the room is they cast a black man as Severus Snape.
Right. Severus Snape is very well described in the books as being anything but a black person.
Right. Very.
So, I'm not trying to be rude. It just he is.
There are several other characters that you could swap in Harry Potter and it would not make a difference. Severus Snape, it opens up a whole can of worms. The guy, just beyond skin color, he doesn't look anything like Snape. Snape is described as being kind of a greasy, oily, pasty, gothy character, and he's not that. Like this, but it opens up a can of worms because in the story, he's dealing a lot with, pure bloods and mud bloods, and he's basically a racist, right? Or playing one. And also, there's a flashback scene where Harry Potter's dad torments him. Spoilers, the books have been out for like 25, 30 years. But
yeah.
Harry Potter's dad torments him.
It has been.
Yeah, it has been. It was late 90s.
Damn. Yeah. No, okay.
But he gets hanged from a tree, right? Like, do you want to have a black guy hang him from a tree in Harry Potter? It just makes the whole thing with Snape casting a black actor adds a whole element of racial undercurrents to it that they're just it's gonna be a problem. Here's the weird thing about this though, is that you can't just say this is like the alt-right Nazis don't want black people in Harry Potter, because there are people on the left that are like, it's incredibly problematic that you cast a black actor to play this particular role. Like, you could have even replaced Dumbledore before Snape.
Right. It was like the one character you really, really can't replace like that. You can't really race swap it out. And it's been had a lot of backlash. People are very upset about it. More people, I think, are questioning it than aren't. And now he may be gone from the role.
Yeah. So there's a couple things here that could be happening. One, HBO may have heard the backlash because it's making headlines all over the place. They haven't even started filming yet. And it could potentially harm the show because people are
like a Sonic situation.
A Sonic situation.
The Hedgehog, yeah.
Look, there is precedence for this because I guess Sentry was originally an Asian actor and they replaced him. So it could be HBO's decision. Okay. Two, he might have chosen to leave on his own because he might look at this and be like, looking at the backlash and being like, I am not going to put myself through 10 years of this. Everything I do, people are going to be like questioning it. So he might have been, honestly, if it were me, unless that paycheck was really damn good, and I'm like, people are going to be bitching about me for the next 10 years, and I'm going to have to deal with this for the next 10 years, and I don't want to deal with this for the next 10 years. So he might have noped out. He might have also noped out too, because remember, he just went all in on, like he signed the letter against the trans bill that J.K. Rowling was all for.
Right.
And he might have just noped out himself and been like, yeah, because it is kind of, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of for him to make a big deal publicly, and he was only one of a handful of actors that made a big deal about it, for you to be playing Snape in Harry Potter, taking that paycheck from Harry Potter, and then turn around and basically be a 180 on opinion with J.K. Rowling when she's out there strutting that the bill got through and all this other stuff. He might have gotten pressure to
Bad
leave
look.
anyway.
Yeah, you put your money where your mouth is kind of situation. If you're going to sign this and make a big stink about it, then you better follow through on your end. So that could be too. But either way, no matter what's happening, the rumor is that he's going to be replaced. And a lot of people are like all excited because like, oh, maybe we can get this actor or that actor to play it. Mostly people want
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver to play it. My mind went blank. But here's the thing too. You don't know that an actor is going to take the role because depending on the reason, if he's gone, they might be like, well, I don't want to take a role from somebody that was a minority and now there'll be a lot of backlash and I'll be blamed for it. Unless it's a case where if he did step down on his own volition, they need to make that clear so that people know that it's okay to hire somebody else.
Yeah, I am more inclined to think, my gut on this is I don't think they would, because it would be a really bad look for them to fire a black guy, like, oh, we made a big deal about casting a black guy. And he was actually one of the first ones announced. He might have actually been the first one announced. And we're going to fire this guy. No, I think it's more like he either didn't want to deal with the hassle of it for the next decade or people pressured him to step down because of J.K. Rowling.
Mm-hmm. But if he did leave on his own, he needs to be making that clear.
Yeah.
So that if it's true, so that they can replace it. Again, if it's all true. We don't even.
If it's true, we don't know. But you know what? I'm sitting here looking at Warner Brothers. They're not in a good place right now. They need a hit. And already because of the casting controversy, they've got this huge shadow cast all over, Harry Potter. And not just that. And then you've got people on the other side. They're like, J.K. Rowling shouldn't be doing anything. I'm like, well, the Harry Potter stuff's in the toy aisle. It never left. It's in the theme parks. You didn't have a problem with that, but you got a problem with the TV
bunch of the Walmart 18-inch I think they're My Life as dolls.
Yeah.
They made a whole bunch of Harry Potter stuff for them this year. There's all these amazing play sets and stuff. Our daughter would have been like, oh, hell yeah. I mean, there's a train. Yeah. There's like a potions lab. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. They're impressive play sets and fashions and things, and people are buying them.
Yeah. Yeah. The general public doesn't care. The general public, I'm going to tell you, they're going to wonder why when they're watching Harry Potter, they're like, how do we go from Alan Rickman to this dude? Like what the, you know what I'm saying? Like it's such an iconic role. Actually, Adam Driver, I think he could knock it out of the park. And if they were smart, they'd be like, yeah, let's get him because then we'll get those Raylos over here and get some watch time in. You'll have shirtless Snape
too. I think he'd be really good too. But I just don't know if he's going to do it.
I mean, it's a big
10-year commitment.
It's a 10-year commitment. And it's, that's kind of a step down for him now, right? Because he's doing movies.
That's what I'm saying. He might not be interested in doing something like that for 10 years. But, plus now, if there's a backlash over the replacement, he might avoid it.
Yeah, he'd be perfect though. Honestly, that would bring eyeballs to it because there are a lot of people like Adam Driver for various reasons. But he's already getting backlash because God forbid, he got married and had a kid and the Raylos,
Yeah, he didn't hook up with Daisy Ridley in real life and they were married.
Right. This person here, this is exactly it. So just to be clear, I expected some race swapping in Harry Potter because I know who's working on the show and they did His Dark Materials and there were race swaps. But the difference, I believe, is that it didn't add a layer of weirdness to the show to have any of the characters that they swapped. It didn't make any difference what their skin color was, but having this dude hang from a tree and having him basically be a racist himself, and he's the only black teacher at Hogwarts, and he's the racist. I'm like, okay, that's going to be a problem.
And then they kept promising it was going to be like the book, not the movies, the book where they're going to include a lot of stuff they cut out. It was going to be as close as they could ever get it to the book. And then they turn around and put somebody in a Snape that's black, and with the problematic potential there, people were mad because they're like, well, wait, you said you're going to do it like the book. Well, now you can't.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this guy says, look, good. I'm not saying he's not a good actor. He may be a very good actor. I don't know. But he's not Snape. No one will ever be Alan Rickman either, but Paapa could not be further from the character. Snape is a greasy haired man with black hair, a hooked nose, and sallow skin, not a black man. Paapa should be recast as another character. I think, again, if this is true, I think this might be his decision.
But
think
if
he
it
might be
is,
stepping-
again, I think he needs to let people know that I'm deciding to, if it's true, I'm deciding to step back because, you know, I've other obligations or things I want to work on, and it wasn't going to work. And then that way people would be more okay with allowing somebody else to take the role. Now the ones that were all like, haha, in your face racist are going to harass. They're going to join the team of the people that are like pro trans people that hate J.K. Rowling, harassing any actors that get associated with this movie. So now you're going to have two different factions, you know, harassing them.
They cannot afford HBO, Warner Brothers at this point. The only reason they're rebooting Harry Potter at all is they're looking for more money, right? Because they're really not doing well. And they can milk Harry Potter for another 10 years, and they cannot afford to screw this one up. They cannot afford to. So it might even be like, hey, could you make a statement that you're stepping away for other whatever? We'll give you a bunch of money to leave. And he might even be like, yeah, my friends are telling me that I'm supporting a transphobe and a TERF. So yeah, I'll just take that check and leave. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's happening. We don't know. But if it were me, I would not want to deal with 10 years of bullshit. Okay, I'd be like, you know what? This is gonna be a big ass ordeal for a good chunk of my life, and I don't want to deal with it. So yeah, I'm out. I'm out of here, man. That would be me. But yeah,
it's yet to be seen if it's true. So
yet to be seen. But if it is true, I would expect some kind of an announcement, joint announcement. They'll make it look as peachy as possible. We'll probably never get a straight story, and it'll come through official channels and be like, you know, due to conflicting schedules, Paapa Essiedu is no longer going to be portraying Severus Snape. Mm-hmm. So we're going to recast. And again, his scenes are fairly limited, so they could basically start filming without the Snape scenes and then add them in later.
What was there a clause you get fired if you out there shit talking J.K. Rowling or something? And then
I don't know. Well, she even said she had no say in the casting at all. I think everybody's like, oh, she's getting money. I'm like, of course she's getting money, you dumb bitch. That's how it works when you own the franchise. And you can be a producer on something and not actually have any say in the day-to-day production. Mm-hmm. That's the director's job. The producer basically secures the money, brings something to the table to get this thing done. It's all
producer usually pays for it. Let's be honest.
They usually pay, right? Okay, and they're gonna make her a producer because that's probably in her contract. Like if I'm gonna be on a Harry Potter, I get a producer credit. Doesn't mean she does shit on the show. And it sounds to me like they're keeping her involvement to a minimum because she said she can't control the casting. I think if it were up to her, she probably wouldn't have done it.
I think it's because it's her story. It's her book. She's gonna have to be a producer no matter what, and her credit's gonna be on being the writer and creator no matter what too. So there you go.
Yes, and she's gonna get paid from now until the end of time. It's
no matter what.
Almost impossible for her to go broke because she's got so much damn money. You get to a place with money where you can't go broke because the money just keeps making money, and that's pretty much where she's at. So, anyway, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.